I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It might be men. It might be men.
Which one was it? Was it Tomi Lahren? I get her confused with that Lauren Southern girl.
Oh, Tomi Lahren.
Those girls are interchangeable.
A woman not taking responsibility and blaming men for her problems? I've never seen that one before. I'm shocked. For those of you who have been under a rock for the past week, this is Tomi Lahren, a pro-abortion conservative who worked for The Blaze, but then got fired, and now she works for Fox News. Now, I've had a lot of time to process this information because it takes me forever to make a video, and what I have found is that some of you are mistaken. A lot of channels are saying that she is saying this because she had a breakup with her ex-fiancé and she is about to slam the wall, which is true. She has about 3 good years left. However, Tomi has been saying this stuff about men for years. Here is an Abba and Preach video I found that reacted to her saying the same things in 2017 on The Blaze.
Is it just me, or have men gotten really soft these days? See, a real man knows how to handle a strong woman, so this isn't our problem. And by the way, wearing a flannel shirt and having a beard doesn't make you a man if you still can't change a tire and you're scared of the dark. The women of the world are tired of the boys.
Yet another modern woman who wants men to uphold all the traditional gender roles but doesn't uphold them herself. You want me to be able to fix a car, but you can't cook. You want me to buy you a drink at the bar, but you can't clean a home. If you can't do those things, then you aren't useful to most men.
Value.
You're right. Relationships are about value. I don't need a chick who works all the time. I work all the time. I don't need a chick who makes money. I have money. This is why men don't want modern women. We don't need 2 people doing the same things. We need the roles to be split.
Folks tend to think that I'm very aggressive. I'm the least aggressive person you'll meet.
I can see that. That's why you say things like this.
It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. In the age range of about 20 to, I think, about 55, maybe even 60. A lot of men are trash. A lot of men don't know how to treat women. I am really so sick of my friends having to deal with trash men. I am tired of dealing with trash men, so I'm going to help you out.
If anyone out there still believes that Facebook is not biased, think about this. This video was uploaded almost a week ago. It went viral, everyone knows about it, and it's not banned. If a man got on camera and made a viral video where he said that about women, his life would have been over. He would have gotten a permanent ban on Facebook, his house would have been swatted, and he would have had millions of feminists calling every possible employer to make sure he never works again. Tomi Lahren, however, is completely immune to that treatment. But okay, Tomi wants to help us. Or so she says. A word of advice, because a lot of people do not seem to know this. If you call someone trash, if you call them a failure, if you call them a loser, if you emasculate them by calling them a boy instead of a man, then they aren't going to listen to you. If you speak aggressively like Tomi is, then people also will not listen to you. Both of these things are mistakes people make all the time when they are debating people they disagree with, and they are a surefire way to not only have that person not listen to you, but also to destroy your relationship with them. If anyone spoke to me like Tomi did to men on Facebook, then they would have been dropped out of my life. If you attack people, then they are going to defend. When people are in a defensive position in a debate, they turn themselves off to new ideas, and anything you say will be ignored or used as further justification for their points. When you are trying to convince someone who disagrees with you, you can't be aggressive, and you need to listen to what they say. If you aren't willing to listen to them, then they aren't going to listen to you. When you listen, you may find that, hey, you were wrong, and now you have a better way of thinking. Or, when you listen, you learn more about their viewpoints, which helps you cater your message to something that they find valuable. making it more likely that they will hear you out. People are a lot happier to come to your side if you can tell them how your side aligns with their values. So she says that she wants to help men, but her actions show that she doesn't. The only thing her tone of voice is going to do is rally the troops on her side who already agree. Her and her friends are the only ones liking this post. It's fine to speak in that tone of voice that Tomi speaks in when you are around people you agree with, but if you are talking to someone who doesn't agree, then quite possibly she presented herself in the most ineffective way she possibly could have. Look, all the top comments from the guys that she is trying to convince are trashing her. Listen to this. We are perfect and beautiful. Here's a list of our demands. If you don't meet them, you're not a real man. Why can't I find a man? Here's another. I kind of feel it's the guys you're looking for. It's easy to say what you'll go for. It's way different to actually go for something you're not naturally attracted to. You are just attracted to douchebags. See? Clearly, she's convincing the target audience. Men love it when women are condescending.
Women do not want a pen pal. Make plans. Make a plan.
All I can think about when I watch this is imagine what it would be like to have any sort of disagreement with this chick while you're dating her. This is how she acts in public. Think about how she acts when no one is looking. Imagine what it would be like to divorce this chick.
I know it's not rocket science, but men of 2020, it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out. And I'm not a feminist, so please don't take this as a feminist rant. I love men.
But you are a feminist, and I have proof. But first, a word from this video's sponsor, Sandman.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you give cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
All right, here we go.
When it was about women's rights, when it was about the right to vote, the right to own property, the right to divorce, the right to do these things, then that, to me, I would consider myself a feminist, because it's about women's rights and about women's empowerment. It's about equality. I think that the left and the far left have hijacked the feminist movement, and they've turned it into something that I would not be proud to call myself a feminist. It's turned into, to me, what is largely man-hating.
Female empowerment, equality, women's rights. Outside of the right to own property and the right to vote, what rights did men have that women didn't? If that's what feminism was about, then it should have ended in the 1920s. I'll tell you what feminists mean when they say women's rights. Feminists have won the right to force a man to pay a woman he is no longer in a relationship with by penalty of imprisonment, even if those payouts are ridiculous and far more than she would ever need to survive. Women have the right to have half a man's money even if they never contributed anything to obtain it. Mackenzie Bezos is one of the richest women in the world, and she got there by divorcing the creator of Amazon. Women almost always win custody battles, which guarantees them more child support, even if the woman is terrible and abusive to her children. And finally, all women have to do to win everything in divorce court is say a man beat her, and everyone will believe her, even if she doesn't have evidence. The parts of feminism that spawn Trump derangement syndrome or cause people to wear vaginas on their head are not the parts of feminism that men care about. We care about divorce court, and that's the part of feminism that Tomi Lahren agrees with. Well, that's inaccurate, because as we can see by her Facebook video, Tomi agrees with the male hatred part as well.
But what I would say to women is that you have to have a strong sense of self. And I think that that's all about what you're doing and empowering women.
You're so strong and bold and unapologetic.
You're so stunning, you're so brave. She sounds like a feminist to me. Another Facebook comment in response to her video says, "You sure you're a conservative? Sound more like a feminist." To which Tomi Lahren, 10 out of 10, sticks the landing by responding with, "Nah, I'm just so sick of soft men who don't know how to act right." Spoken like a true feminist. Women aren't the problem, men are. My God, Tomi, we're all content creators here. Every one of us makes poorly received posts at some point, but don't dig yourself further into the hole by responding to the negative comments. Keep your mouth shut. Exercise that Fifth Amendment right Otherwise, people are going to find out that you're a chameleon.
Ideal man. Is he self-employed or employed by somebody else, ensuring financial security? I guess the question is, what's more important? Someone who is individualistic or provides security?
Security, yeah.
Right. You have just expressed the primary philosophy that grows government into tyranny. You would rather be secure than free. You are not a conservative. This is also the kind of woman that will keep a man from achieving his dream. She is the reason that Tom Leykis would tell guys to never get into a relationship with a woman until you are successful. Otherwise, she will hold you back because it makes her feel more secure. In this Facebook video, Tomi Lahren could not possibly be any more the kind of woman that men are completely appalled by, and could not be more so the kind of woman that makes men not want to get married. She is not self-aware.
She doesn't have to own her own company, but be ambitious and have something going on. That's probably the kind of girl you're gonna need to find. Not the Tatianas who just want to look cute and post Instagram stories.
Isn't that exactly what you do? She's also bossy. She blames other people for problems that she created. She will call you names to cover up for her failures. And she has ridiculously high standards while at the same time not being that valuable to a man.
And by the way, if I'm no longer interested because your effort is shitty, that's not me being a bitch. That's not me being difficult. That's me having a standard in which I expect from people. I do have high standards and high expectations. My friends have high standards and high expectations. Do you want to know why? We've worked for those. Okay? We work hard. We're successful. We take care of ourselves. We try to look cute. We have a desire to be something more each day. Okay? That's why we have the ability to be somewhat what you call difficult. It's not difficult. We just have a baseline standard. And if you can't meet that standard, that's okay. A lot of men cannot.
What a brat. How in the hell was her fiance able to even put up with this? You don't get to be difficult in a relationship just because you work hard. I don't care if you work 14 hours a day. If being around you gives me a headache, then I don't want to be around you. She never really says what her standards are in the Facebook video, and there's not much other information out there I can find, but we can take a guess about what kind of guy she goes for. Her first piece of advice was to be single and not be dating 5 women at the same time. I know women seem confused by this because you can be a female and date like 15 guys at the same time, even if you're below average, but most guys can't do that. Most men will have most women, but most women won't have most men. So if you are dating someone who has the ability to date 5 women at the same time, then you're talking about the top 10% of men. Look at her ex-fiancé, Brandon Frick. He is 8 inches taller than her at 6'1".
First question. Your perfect man. Is he above or below 6 foot?
Above.
He is a contract advisor for the NFL, and he bought her a ring worth up to $50,000. Supposedly, you are to spend 2 months' salary on an engagement ring, so we can guess that he makes somewhere around $25,000 a month. That's $300,000 a year. He's in the top 1%. Now, allow me to give you some perspective. This is her fiancé without makeup. This is her without makeup. This guy is like a 10, and if I'm being nice, Tommy is a 6. This guy, looking the way he does and making the money he makes, could have any woman he wants. She was a complete idiot for calling out the marriage and breaking up with him at 27. He is the best she will ever do.
If you want to date a girl that has nothing going on, then that's fine. But please do not mix in people like me and my friends who have something going on with your other girls that have nothing going on. Please don't mix us in with the Tatianas. We don't want to be there. If that's what you want, find them. Please, for the love of God, do not mix us in with them because we don't want to be there.
There you go. Straight from her mouth. Every girl who doesn't work at Fox News or isn't a lawyer is a thought. Every girl who doesn't have something going on, like Tommy and her high-quality friends, is a hoe. The thing is, though, guys want the girls that Tommy describes as Tatianas. The reason that Tomi isn't getting the chads that she wants is because she is less valuable than the Tatianas. She is a 5 or a 6 with makeup on who thinks she's an 11. She has an entitled, bratty personality, and she has none of the desirable skills that men want because she has taken that time and spent it on working for news corporations. Guys want women who have nothing going on. Why? Because women who have careers have no time to raise children. Almost all women won't marry a man who makes less money than her, so if she's not home, then no one is home. Kids who are raised by surrogates like daycare instead of their biological parents turn out like crap. Don't expect much when the people who are raising your kids make minimum wage. Men don't want to come home to bratty kids or a wife who complains all the time about some chick at work after he's been working all day. Men also don't want to come home to TV dinners because no one has time to cook. So, men treat Tomi like the Tatiana she complains about, not because those men are trash. They're treating her like that because to them, she isn't more valuable than those women. And that's because she is using a relationship strategy that does not work. We know it doesn't work. Modern women have been failing to have successful relationships for decades. I find it amazing how much people get in their own way. I find it amazing how much people hold themselves back by not using strategies that are effective. Do you have what you want? No? Then your technique doesn't work and you need to do something else. Your failing plan isn't going to magically work if you keep doing it. That's the difference between people who are smart and people who aren't. People who are smart learn from their mistakes. People who aren't repeat them over and over and over again. Tomi has been working this game plan with guys for at least 3 years. How has that worked out for her? Well, if she does it for 3 more years, then she's going to slam right into the wall, and then no one is going to want her. People, please stop holding yourselves back by doing things that don't work. 2 parents working 60 hours a week does not work. If women want to have a career and still have a family, then they need to either do their career after their kids are old enough to take care of themselves, or they can marry a guy who wants to stay home. That's what works. If you want to be effective, then you aren't going to get everything that you want. No one ever does. Women like Tomi and her friends are failing because they're trying to grab 10 different things at once when they can only afford to grab one. If you want to succeed and be happy, then you have to use strategies that are effective. If you don't know how to do that, then you're missing a very important life lesson. So if that's the case with you, as it likely is with most people, then you need to teach it to yourself by doing things that are competitive. You need to put yourself in a place where you cannot afford to be ineffective if you want to win. The easiest way to do that, which is something I recommend a lot, is to play competitive video games. Any competitive video game where you are playing other humans will work. The most recent competitive game that I picked up is Apex Legends, which is free. You can't make it any easier than that. All you have to do is grab a headset and go into a Discord server with your friends. If you don't have friends, then make them in the game. When you play, you'll realize that doing whatever you want will quickly get you killed, and you'll never win. There are certain things that work, and there are certain things that don't work. If you want to win, then you have to be good at communicating with your teammates. You have to know how to take cover behind stuff so that you are harder to shoot. You have to be able to move to different areas when people spot you so they don't know where you're coming from. You have to know what items to pick up and how to use them. You have to know how to best use your character's special talents so that they are the biggest benefit to your team. There are plenty of guides on the internet that you can use to figure that stuff out, and once you get good, you can add your little spin on it so that it's more personal to you. If you can do that in a video game, then you can do that in real life. Any game that's good will teach you life lessons that can be used outside of the game. That's why we've been playing sports and other games for thousands of years. That's why every culture plays games. That's why animals play games. Games are an extremely important learning tool. And with that said, I think that's enough for this video. So if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, comment and share. If you would like to support this channel, then you can do so through PayPal, Patreon, or Subscribestar. You can find all of those links in the description. Last, if you haven't checked me out on Facebook, Bitchute, or Twitter, you can also find those in the description. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.